I'm going to go ahead and press F, and there we go. Now they are beginning to sink. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are back in Tiny Sailor's World, and today we are going to be checking out a brand new update. So yeah guys, let's get into the video. So as usual with many of the updates in this game, there are now 3 new vehicles. There is an aircraft, a submarine, and a new ship. And this new ship happens to be the Leviathan. And we're going to be checking that out in today's video. And if we do have some extra time, we will also check out the 2 new vehicles as well, the airplane and the sub. But let's go ahead and let's spawn in the Leviathan. Now, the SS Leviathan actually wasn't an American ship when it was built or launched. It was a German ship called the Vaterland. It was launched in 1913, began service in 1914, and it was run by the Hamburg America line. Now, of course, after World War I, the ship was given over to the Americans as war reparations. Then it was given over to the United States lines, and, well, the rest is history. So let's go ahead and let's spawn it in. Alright, so here we have it, and it looks really, really good. And what's also really cool is it has interior. With many of these new builds, you'll see interior in these ships, which is always cool to explore. Now, we won't be really exploring it in this video, but I'll throw up a couple photos of the interior that I took earlier so you can see what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get sailing right now. Now, of course, we are in New York City because that is quite fitting, and I'm wondering if we press Z, okay, we do actually have the original livery, what I believe is the original livery for the Leviathan, which used to be the Vaterland. Now let me know below, what do you like better, the red, white, and blue funnels or the yellow funnels? I'm not sure, I'm sort of torn between them. I do quite like this one, but I also do like the yellow, so you guys let me know what you think down below. But we're going to go ahead, we're actually also going to load up, because I mean, why not? And then we'll get going again. So I'm just going to stop here, and we're just going to load up with about 1,000 passengers and 100 cargo. So there we go. And we're going to go ahead and get on the move. Oh yeah, look at that. There's the Bismarck over there, and also the Estonia. The Bismarck we'll be getting to in the Recreating the Disaster series soon. Once we actually do a video on it, I'll put a link in the top right corner if you want to see that. And we also did a video on the Estonia, which is also behind us and is now helping the Bismarck. That is some weird reality shifting there. But yeah, we're going to continue on our way to, why not go to Halifax or even Southampton? I mean, we usually go there anyways, and why not with the Leviathan? It seems like a pretty fitting sort of voyage to go across the ocean. It is an ocean liner after all, and you know what's interesting? It feels like an almost forgotten ocean liner. There's like very little talk about it, at least from what I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like not a lot of people talk about this ship, and they really should because it is a really cool ship. Alright, so I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that we don't get struck by a torpedo here, because usually one of those rogue AI subs will spawn and they'll fire a torpedo at us. So let's take a look. Okay, so thankfully we just made it through here without being torpedoed or hitting a mine, which is excellent. This is sort of a dangerous area going between ports. Once we actually get out into the deeper water, though, we should be pretty good. I don't think there's many mines in the deeper areas. I think we're reaching that area just now. Now, one interesting thing about this ship is if you look at the very front, we've got a set of lifeboats there. Same with the stern. And you rarely see those with some of these ocean liners. With many ocean liners, you'll see the lifeboats only on the boat deck, at least in this time period. And that doesn't seem to be the case. And what's really cool is we've got lifeboats along the side of the hull, and they're actually embedded in the hull. So it's sort of kind of a calling to some of the future ships that would be built. You know, we're talking about ships way in the future from this, modern ships today. And yeah, you'll notice that those ships actually have the lifeboats in the hull. And, well, this is in the superstructure, but it's below the boat deck. And there's actually no davits here, which is quite interesting. And it looks like we have reached Halifax. Alright, so there we go. We just sailed under the bridge. And that is really cool. We rarely ever get to do that. And here we go. We're just sailing through the canal at, like, full speed, which would not be done. We'd be at, like, half or dead slow or something like that. And here we go. We're just going to go under this bridge, and then we are out of the canal. We're just sort of in the open area, or the harbor, and then we'll be out to open ocean. Alright, well, unfortunately, we've got some bad weather, as you can see, and we also have a tsunami, which we're going to quickly avoid. So, there we go, and we're going to continue on our way to Southampton. At this point, I would imagine a couple of the passengers would be seasick. I mean, it's the Atlantic Ocean, there are huge waves, the ship's rocking around, and some people are not super prepared for that. So, yeah, you'd imagine it would be not really the best situation. So far, this first voyage is going pretty well. Other than the storm, I mean, everything's been going flawlessly, so that is always a good sign. Now, I do have to say, the ship does look really nice at night with all those lights running and everything. It is a very nice sight to see, and you can really tell this is sort of that early 1920s design with that forward superstructure literally being just a flat brick. Kind of reminds me of some of those cruise ships nowadays with those giant superstructures. And I think those are more slanted, of course, now, but you can see that this is sort of that telltale flat 1920s structure there. Well, I'm glad to say our first voyage has gone over without us sinking or striking a mine or getting hit by a torpedo, at least for now, as U-20 passes us, and we'll go ahead and we'll go under the bridge, because why not? Alright, so welcome to Southampton, and now we are going to go ahead and sink the ship. So, let's just sail out to sea, and we'll take a look at some of the scuttle options. Luckily, our passengers have left the ship, most likely jumping over the side because we didn't actually dock it, but now they're all off, and now it's time to take this thing down. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at these scuttle options. Of course, we have the Halifax explosion. I think that's a little too fast. I'm going to select the slow option anyway, but Halifax explosion is pretty much the fastest sinking you can do. And let's take a look at what else we have here. So we do have sink by current damage. We're not damaged yet, so we can't really do that. Sink by simulation. Now, I don't think that's going to work. Nope, there we go, because, of course, it didn't sink. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at what else there is. V-brake. Sink by fire. Hey, we haven't done that one in a while, so why not? Let's go ahead and sink by fire. Alright, so now the ship is completely engulfed in flames, and rest in peace to all of those beautiful interiors. And oh my gosh, that is an incredibly eerie view. Look at the interiors there. They're sort of glowing in flame. I mean, everything's glowing in flame right now, but the interiors are more in flame than anything else, which is just super, super eerie. It is October and almost Halloween, so I guess, you know, spooky. Oh no, a multi-million-dollar ocean liner is sinking. Oh god, how spooky. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, the ship is rapidly going down. The water has already inundated the stern, and I'm going to abandon ship. Most of the fire is actually already out because the ship went down so quick. I mean, once the superstructure goes, everything goes, really, because you've got all of those open areas flooding, and that floods down into the bottom of the ship, and sort of like a domino effect. It goes from one compartment to the next, and yeah, the Leviathan goes under. So yeah, there it is, and there it goes. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the wreck. So as you can see, the wreck is in one piece, of course, because we didn't do a split, and it's also sort of bubbling out here, and there goes the last bit of the air escaping the ship. But, I mean, this would be a pretty cool wreck to drop a sub on or something like that. I mean, not to drop onto it, but I mean, sail around it, or sort of explore the wreck with maybe an ROV. Because, I mean, it's upright, it seems somewhat stable, and, yeah, it would be really, really cool. Now, we do have a little more time, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the sub and also the plane. So we'll go ahead and we will leave the Leviathan in the darkness for probably eternity. So there we go. Now, forgive me for the following pronunciation. It is going to be completely butchered. But we have the Sofwith, I'm not sure, strutter. It is clearly a biplane, and we have this really cool submarine, which also seems to be French, because it is Le Triumphant. That's not how you spell triumphant, but I guess it's close enough. I'm not sure, but we do have some vehicle information. And yes, it is French, and I'm assuming that is also French. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. I do want to check out the sub first, and then we'll go on to the aircraft. So let's go ahead and spawn it in. Oh my gosh, there's the Leviathan again. Let's torpedo it. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to activate PvP mode. I'm going to go ahead and press F, and there we go. Now they are beginning to sink. How awful. And it looks like they are trying to escape. We will need to stop this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sail around and we are going to fire at them again. And there they go. I think they're sinking. I could be wrong. They are beaching themselves against a giant brick wall or a concrete wall. So yeah, that is interesting. It looks like they're actually pumping out the water too. So they may be surviving here. Nope, they're sinking. Yep, I can see that flare going up. We have sunk the Leviathan with the Triumphant. I'm pretty sure I am not pronouncing that correctly. Well, after the Leviathan was somehow recovered from the ocean floor and rebuilt, it has now been torpedoed and is sinking. So there we go. We can see the stern beginning to flood, the water slowly creeping up the decks, and it will eventually take the ship down. And there we go. We have a bit of air escaping from those rear compartments there, and I imagine, yeah, it's definitely going to hit bottom before it fully sinks, which should be very interesting, but it should also set upright based on the way that it's, well, sinking. If it doesn't, then that will surprise me a lot. Luckily, in this case, instead of the whole ship being ablaze like we did, this actually is giving a chance for the passengers to escape in the lifeboats, and you can see as soon as that superstructure goes under, you've got all that water flooding through and apparently a yacht as well, and it takes down the ship very quickly. So there it goes, and it's going down by the stern again. You know, I just realized that this is mimicking almost exactly what happened with our sinking, and it is about to hit bottom. It actually has hit bottom, and it's doing nothing. And the yacht is going crazy. So there we go. Now, I've done a little bit of research, and I'm also reading this here, and I believe that it's not really called a biplane and more of a strutter, hence why the last part of the name is strutter. So, yeah, I guess that's what it is. So it's not exactly a biplane, it's actually a strutter. Alright, so as you can see, it's nothing much, but we do have two people in the seats there, as well as a gun that's sort of mounted facing the rear. And what I do want to do is I do want to go ahead and sort of fly over somebody's ship, because we are in a public server. So yeah, let's go ahead and actually, let's go under the bridge here. That would be cool. There we go. Is there anybody else around? Oh yes, there is a cruise ship. Fire away. Here we go. And boom. Well then, apparently that cruise ship was a ghost. We went right through it. The bullets went right through it. We hit the water. And we exploded and sank. So, yeah. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment. And I'll send you some guys. Goodbye.